heavy pigments. This is how we apply. With his brush strokes he painted the sea. Bright white snow, painting cold. Vincent was numb in the weather. Light blue sky, no clouds up high. He learns no matter what time.
You'll see what I mean from the painting of the potato eaters. I think that Portier will understand it. It's very dark though, and in the white, for instance, white has hardly been used at all, but simply the neutral color that occurs if one mixes red, blue, and yellow together. Say vermilion, Paris blue, and Naples yellow. So this color in itself is a fairly dark gray, but it looks white in the painting. I'll tell you why I did this. The subject here is a gray interior. It is lit by a small lamp. The drab linen tablecloth, the smoke-stained wall, the dusty caps in which the women have worked on the land, all these, when you look at them through your eyelashes, prove to be a very dark gray in the light of the lamp. And the lamp, although being a red glow, is even lighter, and by a long way, than that white. Now the flesh tones. I know that on a superficial examination, that is, if you don't think it through, they look like what people call flesh color. I did paint them that way in the beginning of the painting, some yellow, red, and white, for example. But that was much too light and certainly didn't do. What was to be done? I had finished all the heads, and even finished them with great care, but I quickly repainted them without mercy. And the color they're painted now is something like the color of a really dusty potato, unpeeled of course.
Oh, I really can't think of dark painting. Potato eaters sitting around eating. It's dark as the night. Oh, can't you see how does you do this thing? It's 7 o'clock at night. Lamplight burns so bright. It's been hard days that were never thought he'd paint it like that. Oh, he really can paint. Oh, baby, 'cause he's Vincent.
You know I'm changeable in my work, and this rage to paint orchards won't last forever. After that, it may be bull rings. I have an enormous amount of drawing to do, because I'd like to do the drawings in the style of Japanese prints. I can't do anything but strike while the iron's hot. We'll be worn out after the orchards, because they're, 25 and 30 and 20 canvases. We won't have too many if I could knock off twice the number, because I believe that could perhaps melt the ice in Holland once and for all. Mob's death was a rude shock for me. You'll easily see that in the pink peach trees were painted in a certain passion. I also need a starry night with cypresses, or perhaps a field of ripe wheat. There are some really beautiful nights out here. I have a constant fever for work. I'm quite curious to know what the results will be after a year. I hope by then I'll be less troubled by fits of faintness. At the moment I suffer a lot some days, but that doesn't worry me in the least because it's nothing but the reaction to this past winter, which wasn't normal. And the blood's restoring itself, that's the main thing. We must reach a point where my paintings are worth what I spend and even exceed that, seeing that so much has been spent already. Well, we'll get there. Not everything I do is a success, of course, but the works are getting along. Up to now, you haven't complained about what I spend here, but let me warn you that if I continue my work at the same rate, I'll find it hard to manage, but the work's excessive.
His most famous works of art. Standing outside, this is the ones go, but took up greatest thing I got through all these simple words. Vincent van Gogh.
It's Van Gogh!